Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden. Welcome to Shifting Perspectives. I had a massive realization just now and I went, oh my God. So these perspectives is something that every one of us goes through. And where we are in our development literally is contingent upon these perspectives. Now, right now, I'm in the vulnerability stage. That's your second perspective. Oh my God, is it? Yeah, according to Dr. Graves in Spiral Dynamics, he refers to this as the tribal stage. And I really need to emphasize the importance of comprehending this. With the first ethical stage, what you are embracing is comfort. You're basically indulging in comfort. And you have to basically get to the point where you're so sick of comfort that you finally decide, comfort makes you uncomfortable. So you leave the comfort zone. You have to go out and adventure. That's what boredom is. Boredom is the emotion you experience when comfort makes you uncomfortable. It means you have to go explore. There, you get bored. There's boredom. That is what boredom is. It is literally when comfort itself makes you uncomfortable. And as a result, you seek out adventure. And when you seek out adventure, that's when you step into stage 2, which is the vulnerability stage. Now, really process it this way. A 2-year-old decides that they're bored and they're going to go out and adventure. So they step into the world of vulnerability. Now, in an ideal situation, they are in a home where their parents have kept them safe, where they have the safety, the psychological safety to be vulnerable, to open up and be exposed. Think about the children who can't. Think about the children who were abused during this ethic. I was thinking about just now, like right now, me, I'm safe. I'm safe. In fact, it was funny because as soon as I got to the end of comfort, I had no idea that vulnerability was up next, but instinctively, I went through and I shut down everything so that no one can access me. I felt it coming instinctively. This is deep human instinct. It's amazing. Where I went, I have to protect myself. I need to wall up and use boundaries. So I started throwing boundaries all over because I knew vulnerability was coming. And yesterday I went through without processing that vulnerability was on its way. And I made sure everything was like, no, there must be boundaries right now. And I'm an adult who's conscious and aware of all of this, but there's a lot of people who aren't. And if you are in the ethical stage, this explains so much. The ethical stage of vulnerability. Oh my God. I was just sitting here thinking about it. How would I feel? Like I've basically thrown my vulnerability out there to my partner. And it's just a matter of me waiting now and him deciding if he's going to pick it up or not. And it's up to him. And I'm going, wow, I am really vulnerable right now because he can totally reject me right now, crush me, whatever. And I'm okay. I'm fully exposed. And I'm aware of it. That's the risk. But toddlers, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds who are in this stage, they're fully exposed. They are fully exposed. That's why they run around without clothes. It's because they're embracing exposure. They want to be seen. And it's literally the full autonomy coming forth and saying, here I am. It's the surrendering of control. And it now makes sense why so many of us are traumatized at the first, second, third stage and why it's so lifelong destructive. It's just this massive depth to this ethic that I suddenly understand is you are looking at a massive amount of trauma for an individual who takes on ridicule or shame during this time period because they're trusting. They haven't even gotten to the point of trust. This is one of the stages of trust. Basically, the first 3 ethics are the first 3 stages of trust. They are the stages of trust. So the first ethic is the first stage of trust, which is courage, because you have to have the courage that you can do this. This is self-trust. The second stage of trust is vulnerability, exposing yourself. The third stage of trust is, I don't know yet, I'm not there yet. But that's really what you're looking at. That's really what is there. It's vulnerable. I don't know what it is. I can't imagine. It's the integration of both. That's what it's going to be, because that's what the third, the sixth, and the ninth perspective and the 12th are all about, is integration. So there's integration stages. It's one extreme, the extreme, and then there's integration. And that's what it is full, absolute exposure. And it's just this. So that's why you have trust issues. That's why anyone has trust issues, is because the first three ethical stages of trust were damaged. Courage and vulnerability. Courage and vulnerability. And then the integration and the appreciation of the balance of both, so that you're adventuring and you're exposed, and then you're concealed and you're sheltered. And then you're exposed and you're vulnerable, and then you're concealed and you're sheltered. And I know that's what's going to come. I know that. I'm curious if my knowledge of these is going to expedite my growth through that. I'm very curious. Things that I'm documenting to look at this. Now, the second stage is going to be justice. That's the second stage. So the first ethic, the first grouping is trust. This is the trust grouping. This explains all of the trust issues in the world. Like, this explains it. Courage and then vulnerability, and then learn the integration of both. And it's your relationship. That first ethic is your relationship with courage and comfort. And then that second ethical perspective is your, and you know what I love most is that it's January 2nd and I'm in the second perspective, so that I'm hoping by the third or fourth ethic, or by the third or fourth month, I'll have moved into the third or fourth ethic. So I'm literally like tracking my timeline through the U of I, giving these additional depths to these while I'm on the, because I've already done these. I'm already through the first 12, and now it's just recycling through them a second time, this time with a different perspective, with the second perspective, with the second perspective, so I can get a deeper understanding. So first we go through the 12 perspectives through the first perspective point of view, through the first point of view. Then you go through them again through the second point of view. And then you go through them again through the third point of view, and you go through them again through the omniscient point of view. So I'm really, really curious to see how this goes. Very, very fascinated by this. But, oh, and there it is. I'm feeling quiet again. We just want to withdraw and think. Thank you very much for your audience. I will keep you posted. I have a new graphic. This is something I do, is as I shift perspectives, I put up new graphics. So you can go back through and just as you see the graphics change, that's my perspective changing. So you can, as you go through my history, you can see which graphics are linked to what. It's something I caught on about 2 perspectives ago, and I went, oh, that's so much easier to tell myself what each one of the graphics is. So right now I have the it's not uncertainty, because I know myself, I have my triangle, I have my compass. And this is a lot of it, is these next 12 perspectives is also verifying that my work is completely correct and accurate and predictable from the first 12. So this is me going, yes, we're back to this again. This is familiar territory. I've been here before. I was here the first time around through the first person point of view. Now I get to do this again through the second person point of view. And my God, I'm literally learning how to look at every ethic at a different point of view. This is fascinating. This was all done with oral tradition back 2,000 years ago. So that when we lost Alexandria, we lost this information. And there's only a few clues to tell us, this person had it, this person had it, this person matches over here. Interesting. So yeah, I'm feeling something different. I have a new emotion. That's the other thing, is with every perspective, you get new emotions. I have a new one right now, and I'm going, I have a new emotion. I have no idea what this new emotion is. It's not uncertainty, because I know me. I have no idea what this is, though. It's something new. I'm poking at it right now. Apprehension. Curious. Curious. Curiosity. Is it curiosity? Oh, that'd be fascinating if it were curiosity. I wonder what this emotion is. Oh, you know what? That explains why children ask why all the time. Oh, interesting. I think it is curiosity. But it's apprehension too. It's cautious curiousness. Interesting. I love doing this shit. Interesting. I can feel it. It's definitely cautious. It's cautious. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling something. It's cautious curiousness. Cautious curiousness. Apprehension. Yeah, it's definitely cautiousness. Apprehensive? Yeah, it's not apprehension. It's explorative. It's explorative. I feel like an explorer. Like, what's this? What's this? Yeah, it's definitely cautious. It's definitely curious. A new emotion. I have a new emotion. But this doesn't feel like the original curious. This is a different kind of curious. This is curious 2.0. New emotion. Curious 2.0. It was something I was watching the other day. It really cracked me up. No, it wasn't something I was watching the other day. It was, I had a new emotion and I was like, what is this emotion? It was joy. I called it emotion X, unidentified emotion X. That is what I called it. It was unidentified emotion X. And that translated out to joy, but more specifically, joy for my partner. No, it was joy toward my partner. And I call that joy 2.0. And that was fascinating to me. And this is a new emotion now, too. This is called curiosity. But it definitely feels different than it does before. This is a new kind of curious. This feels like, oh, this is different. I got to sit with this for just a minute. Wow. Curiosity. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, I can definitely feel this. It's the observation, but it is at a completely different level. It's excitement too. There's also excitement here. I feel like I'm tasting one of those never-ending gobstoppers at Wonka's factory, and I'm going, there's a new flavor. It's like an emotional flavor. And this is what this is. These are emotional flavors. Oh, I'm totally using that. Emotional flavors. This is new. Yeah, emotional flavors. Woohoo! All right, so this is what I would call excitement. There's definitely excitement in here. So it's curiosity. There's caution. There's definitely caution. And then there's excitement. Yep, definitely excitement. I'm very excited. Yes. And I'm eager. Yes, 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 yes. No, I'm not eager. I'm a little bit eager. Like a big, but I'm being wise about it. And I think that's the difference is I don't think children are, maybe children are cautious. This is fascinating. I feel like I'm 2 years old again. Very, very curious. Wow. It's interesting that we're curious and highly explorative while we're also open to receive new things. Oh, see, that's something you learn in learning. When you study learning, that's one of the requirements is you have to be curious and exposed. It's explorative. Oh. This is the perspective of learning. No, this is the learning perspective. This is the learning perspective. Oh, that is totally what I'm calling it. So perspective, second stage. Second perspective is the learning perspective. Holy shit. The learning perspective. Yeah, this is the ethic of learning. This has so many ingredients for learning all over in it. You have to be open. Oh, you have to be vulnerable to receive. Students have to be vulnerable. Oh, that's why no one's learning anything. is because it costs you a price. Oh. Yeah, I would definitely not call this humble. I would not call this humility. I had another word for it. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I got to go back to it and look it up. I do feel very, very exposed right now still. Like it's definitely deepening. This is fascinating. I love this shit. Yeah. Oh, yes, I definitely I call this unbreaking you and how abuse rewires us in early childhood. Yeah, I can definitely feel this. So we associate, oh, it isn't safe to learn. Oh, there's that logical fallacy. Trauma teaches us. Trauma. Oh my God. I see. Trauma at this perspective embeds the logical fallacy into us that it isn't safe to learn. That is what trauma does. That explains everything. Yeah, this is important, people. This is really fucking important. It isn't safe to learn because learning requires vulnerability. I see. It isn't safe to be curious. It isn't safe to learn. Wow. I see. I understand now. Which is why the second, third, and fourth perspectives are so, it's a trauma response. They're closed-minded because of trauma, because they were damaged during the second perspective. That is what happened. They were in the second perspective and they became traumatized. So they learned very quickly that learning is dangerous. There it is. Learning is dangerous. And now you have a bunch of children being forced to attend school. But it isn't safe to learn. So the children are being exposed to their trauma every day when they go to school. And my daughter says to me every day, I hate school. Oh. I know how to fix this. Oh, I know how to fix this. Laughter. Laughter communicates to the brain that it's safe. You have to make school fun, and you have to make it fun fast. And if you don't make it fun, you got to make school fun, guys. That's the only way out of this. You got to make it fun. That's it. You got to make them want to go as much as they want to go home on holiday. That's it. Wow. Trauma at this perspective embeds the logical fallacy into us that it isn't safe to learn. See, I was thinking grow. It isn't safe to grow. That was incorrect. It isn't safe to learn. It isn't safe to learn. Learning is dangerous. Therefore, the aversion and low priority of learning and education in this culture of ours is a trauma response to traumatization endured in the second perspective. I am going to say this again. Triadic healing is free to any and all teachers and school systems. Just contact me for details. Yeah. Holy shit. This is big. See, I was traumatized at the first stage. Comfort is dangerous. That's what I learned. Oh. Yeah, comfort is dangerous. Is it vegetarian?
Yeah.
It must be, because we don't have
Completely.
animals here. Okay.
There's mushrooms.
Is there more, or is that all of it?
This is all of it, but if you want some, I can
No,
make
you
a bowl.
you eat first. You eat first.
I'll make you a bowl. I'm not that hungry.
All right, thank you. Chopsticks, please. So yeah, it's this is the learning perspective. You know, he called it, Dr. Graves called it the tribal, and it is very tribal. But no, this is the learning perspective. Wow. So much here. There is so much here. I never learned this lesson. It saved me. Oh, because I learned that comfort is dangerous. That's what I learned. Comfort is dangerous.
I don't know how good it is.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I learned. It was comfort was dangerous. What else did I learn? Vulnerability is dangerous.
I don't know if you like cheese.
Oh, no, thank you. This is good, Dan. My son made a stir fry. Second perspective, learning perspective. Adventure, exploration. There's this moment in the Truman Show when Truman says he wants to be an explorer like Magellan. I'm there. I was that person. I'm like, yeah, me. And she goes, oh, you're too late. Everything's been explored. Get me to Zoolandia. We have a new continent. I don't know if you heard about that. Zoolandia. It sank about a long time ago. This is by Australia and New Zealand. And it's part of a plate that sank millions of years ago. It's back. Literally, it's back. And I'm going, yes, land, let's go. And I was talking to my kids about who has dibs. Are we all just going to like rush over there? And we're like, well, no, you have to own it. No one owns it. You get it. Whoever's there first and puts a stick in it. That's the rule. That's the rule. So I want to go to Zoolandia. There's not even flights documenting that to get there. It's fascinating. But we have a new we have a new continent. So yeah, I am. Oh, there's the rest of the perspective shift. Oh, I'm feeling it now. I love perspective shifts. They're my favorite. And actually, what I'm doing is exploration. I'm a pioneer. That's why I love doing the work I do, is because I'm a pioneer and it allows me to explore this stuff. You just can't explore land really anymore. You're not on Earth anyway. All right, so the learning perspective, curiosity. It's like, what is this? This is fascinating. Why? Oh, it makes so much sense now. The learning perspective. Oh, which explains the no in the third perspective. Yeah, this is the discovery of the autonomy and the authority. Wow, this is fascinating. Yeah, I'm feeling drunk again. It's more of those hormones. They just keep dumping and shifting in my brain, and I love it. It's called an epiphany hormone. It's like a collection or a cocktail of hormones that goes off in your brain. Oh. I'm looking around my room like, is there going to be more math that shows up? Whenever you shift perspectives, you see more math. That's fascinating. That's when you can see the network of triangles appear. I wish I knew what that was called. It's just, you can see the math and the geometry. Time, that one was interesting. When I had a perspective shift with time, ooh, time is slowing down. Why is time slowing down? Which means time is subjective depending upon I think I can control how fast or how slow I go. That's the first time that's happened where it slowed down. I'm like, whoa, it slowed. It slowed way down. Hypothetically, if it can slow down, then I can learn how to speed it up and slow down. So this is a theory I've had for like 4 perspectives now, that I'm learning how to time travel. We're dimension walkers. And once you get further along past the metaphysics, you'll be able to start dimension walking, which I think is what Christ did, is he learned how to do this. So that's where he went. I became obsessed with that for like a while. Where did Christ go? Where did Christ go? Where did Christ go? I think he's dimension walking. That's where I think he is. He's dimension walking. And I can see it. I can definitely see it. But you have to be able to know dimension theory. You have to be able to do all this. So I think that's our future, is dimension walking. What I see is us manifesting an imaginative world of just fruit and abundance. And then you dimension walk into that realm and you farm it for all the fruits and vegetables. While we're doing that, we would then nurture and heal this dimension and put the earth back to where it needs to be. And then we take resources from future dimensions and we bring them back to this dimension to repair this dimension. That is one of the things I see. And as I said, it just slowed down. It's slowing down. Like I'm going, whoa, it's slowing way down, which means I'm going to have the ability to control time. I forgot. I'm in the next one. I didn't even think about this. So there's the ethics and then there's the physics of what's happening, and the physics are different. And I don't talk to people about the physics because that's not healing. That's just fun shit. But yeah, I guess you should know it. So in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, no, I'm sorry, in the 10th, 11th, and 12th, while you're learning emotions and logic and love, what you're also learning is energy. You're learning how to control the energy. And in the 7, 8, 9, when you're learning communications and sharing, what you're also learning on the physics aspect of it, oh, I'm seeing all of it now. Communication, sharing, and physics is also what you're learning in 10, 11, 12. So while you're learning logic and emotion, which is problem solving, you're also learning energy and physics. But in 7, 8, 9, while you're learning sharing and communication, you're also learning about economics. That's how I know about the economic exchange of the emotional transaction. I got the emotional transaction from 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's going fast now. I can feel it. It's just picked up again. And it's just like, I'm going to throw up. Like I said, it's you get perspective sickness because you are going from really, really fast to really, really slow. So I hypothesize that 13, 14, and 15, which is really the first, the second, and the third of the U of I, is going to be learning how to control the speed of time, which is really the frequency of dimension. You're going to learn to control it. Oh, I can see it now. You can control the speed of time. The frequency of dimension. You can slow down the frequency. You can just slow down the vibrations. That's all we're doing. We're slowing down the vibrations. Slowing down the vibrations. How do you slow down the vibrations? And I'm in the learning perspective. Oh, look at all the toys. I'm excited. By the way, I also hypothesize that we're looking at the beginning of ESP, and we are also looking at the beginning of telekinesis, telepathy, and we are looking at the beginning of time travel and space travel. No, something else. Come on, Star Trek, don't fail me now. The replicator, but that's... No, there's one over. It's not the vortex. It's the core. It's the engine core. You can control the frequencies. I know I can. How do I control the frequencies? And if you can control the frequency, then you can control molecule, gas, and liquid. You can control matter if you can control the frequency. If you can control the frequency, you can control matter, and you can control time, because time is just a dimension. Perspective is just a dimension. Speed is actually distance. It's the rate of travel. Okay, so the rate of and frequency is just traveling. There's a way to do this. I know it. I can feel it. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. This is where I feel a little scared, because I know the shit that I'm saying. And I'm really exposed. I also hypothesize that Christ really could turn water into wine by just changing the molecular, the frequency of the molecules. He just could see physics enough to know how to actually change physics. But my question is, why would you change physics? What would be the reason for that, aside from proving a point? Why would you want to do it? Or was it all hypothetical? Was it all just metaphorical in a story? Because no one else from the university could do what he did, which would hypothetically mean that he was the most advanced of students. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure stuff out. Yeah, I need to go to sleep. I can feel it. I need to take a nap. Oh, God, I hate perspective shifts sometimes. They're draining. And then over the next couple days, it's going to be like me vomiting, nausea from just the picking up speed. I don't fear perspective gaps anymore because I solved the language problem. So now I can converse in all the different perspectives. That was a big problem for a while, not being able to communicate. My daughter just sent me a picture she drew of a skeleton smoking. And I can't tell if that's a cigarette or a joint. So I had to ask her. That's a really, she's amazing with her art. I'm going to go take some rest while I think. At the end of January, I have a summit where it's going to be 3 days where I sit down and I literally do everything Triadic Healing in 3 days. We're going to go over the subconscious mind's map. We're going to cover the Philosopher's Compass. We're going to cover the first 3 ethics. And that's his 19th January, January 19th, 20th, 21. And we're going to cover parenting. We're going to cover everything. I have speakers coming in. It's a lot. It's everything healing. It's all things healing. And it is a mass introduction of Triadic Healing in a nutshell. And it's all of my programs, everything. The information link is available down below in the comments. And you can sign up for it and you can go and you can get your ticket for it. And yeah, it's all online, just 3 days, 19th, 20th, 21st of January. And this is one of the four summits. It is a healing summit. The next summit will be part 2, and that'll cover perspectives 4, 5, and 6. And that is going to be located in April. And then the next one will be in July. And then the next one will be elsewhere. So I'm going to be doing the Healing Garden Summits quarterly, like every 3 months, every 3 months. I'm going to be doing that. And then I have my morning show, which corresponds with it, as well as my journals here. So I'll keep doing my research. All right. Thank you so much for your audience. And may the kindest of words always find you.